It was raining that evening, the kind of slow, steady rain that made the world feel quieter, like even the city didn't want to disturb his loneliness. Ethan Cole sat at a table near the window of Le Jardin, the most exclusive restaurant in the city. He was tall, in his late 30s, wearing a dark gray suit that matched the melancholy in his eyes. The world knew him as the cold, untouchable CEO of Cole Enterprises, a man who had everything, except a reason to smile. The hostess had just whispered that his blind date would be arriving soon. He almost laughed. His best friend Marcus had arranged it as a joke or maybe as an act of mercy. Ethan had turned down every party invitation, ignored every woman who wanted him for his money or his name. He wasn't built for love anymore. Not after what happened 3 years ago. Her name was Lily. His fiancée. The woman who used to fill his mornings with laughter and his nights with dreams. And then an accident. A phone call. A silence that never ended. Since that day, Ethan had lived inside a fortress made of routine, deals, and silence. So this dinner? Just a formality. A favor to a friend. A night to sit, smile politely, and leave early. He checked his watch for the third time. 8:15. She was late. Of course she was. Probably realized who he was and got scared, or worse, Googled him and decided he wasn't worth the effort. He signaled for the waiter to bring the check, ready to leave. And then he saw her. A woman stepped into the restaurant, shaking off her umbrella. She was ordinary, at least at first glance. Her brown hair was damp from the rain, tied loosely in a ponytail. She wasn't dressed like anyone who usually dined here, just a simple navy dress, slightly wrinkled at the edges, paired with shoes that had seen better days. But then she smiled at the hostess, a soft, genuine smile that seemed to light up even the shadows around her. Something inside Ethan shifted. The hostess pointed toward him, and the woman hesitated, looking unsure, almost ready to turn around. Ethan stood up, surprising even himself. "Lena?" he asked as she approached. She nodded, her voice gentle but steady. "You must be Ethan." I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish my shift." "Shift?" "At the hospital," she said, sliding into her chair. "I'm a nurse." He blinked, caught off guard. He'd expected another corporate executive, a socialite, someone wearing perfume that cost more than most people's rent. Not this woman who smelled faintly of rain and lavender, whose eyes held kindness instead of calculation. Dinner began awkwardly. He asked safe questions. She answered politely. The usual dance of strangers trying to seem interesting. But somewhere between the soup and the main course, something unexpected happened. She laughed. A quiet, genuine laugh that made him forget what he was even saying. It was the way she looked at him, not at his suit, not at his watch, not at his reputation, but at him. "I hope you don't mind me saying this," she said after a while, "but you look lonely." He froze, fork halfway to his mouth. "Lonely?" She nodded. Like someone who's been waiting for something he doesn't believe will come anymore. He didn't respond. He couldn't. Lena continued softly, "I know that look. I see it in the waiting rooms sometimes. People pretending they're fine when their hearts are breaking inside." For the first time in years, Ethan felt seen. Not as a CEO. Not as a headline. But as a man. They talked for hours. About life, grief, small joys, how she worked double shifts to help her younger brother through medical school, how she volunteered on weekends, how she still believed love was real, even when it hurt. When the waiter told them the restaurant was closing, they realized it was past midnight. Outside, the rain had stopped. She offered him her umbrella, he refused. Instead, they walked side by side, sharing it. He hadn't smiled like that in years. Before parting, Lena hesitated. "I know this was supposed to be a blind date," she said, "but it didn't feel like one. It felt like a beginning." Ethan wanted to say something, anything, but his heart, unpracticed in hope, stayed silent. When she walked away, the night felt emptier than before, but for the first time, emptiness didn't scare him. It reminded him he was still alive. The next few days were chaos at work. Board meetings. Investors. Deadlines. But Ethan couldn't stop thinking about her, her voice, her honesty, her ability to make him feel human again. He wanted to see her, but he didn't have her number. Marcus had arranged everything anonymously. Then, one afternoon, fate stepped in again. He was leaving his office when he heard someone crying near the lobby. A young boy sat with a backpack, his leg scraped. A nurse knelt beside him, Lena. She looked up, startled to see him. Ethan? What are you doing here? Hospital nearby sent me with a first aid team for your company's health drive, she said, smiling nervously. He chuckled. Guess the universe didn't want us to lose touch. This time, he didn't let the moment pass. He offered to drive her home after her shift. They talked again about everything and nothing. By the time they reached her small apartment, she had fallen asleep in the passenger seat. Ethan sat there for a moment, watching her. Peaceful. Real. That night, he made a decision. He would stop running from the past and start walking towards something that scared him even more, hope. Weeks turned into months. Dinners, walks, laughter. He told her about Lily one evening, about the guilt, the emptiness. Lena listened without interrupting, tears in her eyes. When he finished, she took his hand gently and said, You don't stop loving someone by forgetting them. You stop dying inside by learning to love again. He didn't know when it happened, but somewhere between shared coffee cups and quiet moments, Ethan realized he was falling in love. But love, as he learned long ago, always tests you. One night, Lena didn't show up for dinner. She didn't answer calls. Hours passed before he got a message from the hospital. Accident. ICU. Please come. His heart dropped. He rushed there, running through corridors he hadn't entered since Lily's death. When he saw her pale, still, with oxygen tubes, he broke. She'd been hit by a car while helping an old man cross the road. Typical Lena, always saving someone else.